Celestial. Xuefeng. July 3rd, 2007. First of all, we can only rely on Lifechanyuan values. Personal relationship is undependable. Even Xuefeng and any one of Chanyuan Celestials are undependable. Only through Lifechanyuan value can it be possible for Chanyuan Celestials to live a happy life. Any intention to rely on somebody would lead to final desperation. So, everyone's behaviors must be based on laws and disregard of people. Must be based on Lifechanyuan value, not on Xuefeng. We can reach our destination as long as Lifechanyuan value exists, no matter what happens to Xuefeng. So, we must live with people who can resonate with the Lifechanyuan value. Even if there are only 3 or 4 people who have mutual resonance in mind, they can live a happy life if they obey Lifechanyuan value. Any ignorance of Lifechanyuan value would incur troubles immediately. Personal promise is not something everlasting. They may turn hostile suddenly. Then, how to illustrate Lifechanyuan value on the topic of living style. Never fight against the government. Never participate in any activity disobedient to the government. Never fight against any powerful people in any field. Never fight against the boss of the company. Be reserved, not display gallantry in front of people. Remember that we are the humblest celestials. We are the weakest men, and we are the most useless people in the world. Learn from the saints with virtue. Follow the examples of the perfect men in history. Never play tricks or fish in troubled water, but be frank, forthright, honest, and sincere. Never steal, rob, deceive, cheat, or defraud others even if at the edge of starving to death. Never pick up the money on the ground which do not belong to you. It is only that people do not take any articles left by the wayside will it be possible for doors are not bolted at night. Coveting the nourishing from domestic animal will make nature lose. Profiting at other people's expense will not get sufficient treatment from Tao. Your intentions should not offend heaven, earth, and others. No hatred should exist in heart, even you died of being wronged. The reason for such doing is for acquiring a peaceful mind and the natural greatness of the soul, rather than for a good reputation. Be sure to keep in mind that do not commit sins if you do not want to be punished. Have a clear consciousness. Do not go astray. Gradually reducing secular contacts and get in touch with celestial beings. Be diligent in works. Be penitent every day. Not wasting time in beer and skittles. Not showing off yourself. It is better to make people forget your existence. Try to be early in clearing of the secular debts and not to have new secular relationship, but strive for getting to know more celestial beings. The journey in this world for us is to cut out any connection in the mortal world and make forward for the celestial archipelago for our forever enjoyment. Conceive Lifechanyuan as the 1,000-year world, as if nobody existing in the world except Chanyuan Celestials, and nothing is our business except Chanyuan Celestials. There is no marriage and no mutual possession for Chanyuan Celestials. They may have sex freely, because it is the real situation in the 1,000-year world, but remember that all behavior should be natural and be based on real emotion instead of any plot. Keep in mind that indulging in hobbies sap one's will. Indulging in tricks sap one's morality. Strive for the construction of home without marriage and family, and rest all our hopes on the greatest creator, self-improvement and self-refinement. Home without marriage and family would guarantee our survival and solution of our personal problems such as birth, death, illness, and old age. Come to home without marriage and family if being abandoned by society and secular family, being in desperation or disease, getting bankrupt, being hit by a disaster, being old, lonely. Come to home without marriage and family for the enjoyment of beautiful and free life. In short, if you want, you come, but there is a precondition here. You must be willing to give anything you have for the benefit of our brothers and sisters and lovers here, even at the cost of our own life. You must be willing to share what you have. At least you will not permit a single Chanyuan Celestial staying hungry. You must be willing to go all out for saving any Chanyuan Celestial from his or her troubles. And there is still one more question for our consideration, which is, anytime you are enjoying all of these, we should ask ourselves first, what have I done for the construction of Lifechanyuan and home without marriage and family? What have I devoted? We must be very clear that the boys and girls of Lifechanyuan are not stupid at all. No insincere action or manner whatsoever is permit to return their honesty and kindness. Follow the way of the greatest creator, and no ganging up and nodding group. No making alliance for offense and defense. And be brave enough to bring everything we have into the open, being dignified and frank. We must be conscious that anyone might turn hostile suddenly, and everything can be a reason for being blackmailed. Therefore, everything between two people, even a letter, should be able to stand the test in public. In the home, all behavior should be based on common value rather than personal relationship. Otherwise, anyone's criminal action might involve other guy, which is the so-called a single slip may cause lasting sorrow. Any gangs or groups will bury yourself for others' wrongdoing or evil when the situation becomes critical. Be sure to bear in mind that without a guilty conscience, without misgivings, set yourself to a higher standard, do the best what you can, have an ordinary life. You may earn much money, but cannot be pleasure-seeking. Be possible to take vegetables and corn flour as the ordinary food, or even in vegetarian diet instead of reveling in dainties. Lead a simple yet honest life, rather than luxurious and extravagant one. The principles of living standard be practical, no extravagance, no waste, and no showing off. It is absolutely unnecessary to be luxury in daily use. Think the hard work of growing of rice and of grain. Whenever you dine, remember how silk is obtained which keeps you warm and looks fine. Of course, it is also unnecessary to be as austere as a Puritan. You should enjoy life when it is time to enjoy. Anyone who gets in a home without marriage and family and who loves baby may expect his her own baby, but the baby will be educated without the concept of father, and it is forbidden to make him, her known who is her father is. The baby will be raised by home without marriage and family after being weaned. The baby will be educated to respect all of his her elders, and regard all the male superiors as is her father and all the female superiors as is her mother. Every superior must take the babies here as is her own, loving them and taking care of them. The Chanyuan Celestials at old age will be supported by all of the Chanyuan Celestials, and Lifechanyuan will designate for their specific nursing to the last moment of their mortal life. Each person will be designated for his favorite work. For example, those who love cleaning do cleaning job, those who love cooking do cooking job, those who love gardening do gardening job, and those who love making things do their makings. There is no superior job or inferior job here, and there is no difference in the number of jobs. Every people must show the human's essence of truth, goodness, and beauty for providing the best services. No matter how much you contribute, the principle in home without marriage and family is non-possession ownership. The distribution will be made according to everybody's specific needs, and nobody would be possible to own anything except the life. If you want to be a manager, you must live the worst room and take the worst food. This is the so-called to be the first to bear hardships and the last to enjoy comforts. By this way, there will be no fight for power any longer. The above 8 items are the living style of Chanyuan Celestials. Seen from the secular point of view, this can be called Arabian Nights or foolish ideas. But for those who have understood the meaning and value of Lifechanyuan, they know that it is the best way to approach the high-level space of life. You may be the beneficiary of these upon reflection or perception about 禅院草应具备的心理素质, the psychological qualities to be Chanyuan Celestial. Xuefeng. August 28, 2009. During the Three Kingdoms time, an important defensive place was lost because of Zhuge Liang's subordinate General Ma Su's disobedience. Sima Yi, who was the general of Wei, led his troop moving towards Xiqing where Zhuge is stationed. Comparing with Sima Yi's 150,000 soldiers, Zhuge Liang had only the civil officials and the 2,500 of soldiers. His officers were all frightened at the news of approaching of the enemy. But Zhuge Liang, on the contrary, donned the simple Taoist dress and, attended by a couple of lads, sat down on the wall by one of the towers with his lute before him and a stick of incense burning. His face was with all smiles as he played the lute. This is the famous story of Empty Town Bluff. Zhuge Liang showed outstanding psychological quality in the face of crumbling under attacks. When he and his men hovered between life and death, he could remain serene and control and even amuse himself by playing the lute rhythmically. In the chapter of In a Plum Garden, Cao Cao discusses heroes. Cao Cao pointed his finger first at Liu Bei and then at himself, saying, "The only heroes in the world are you and me," which shocked Liu Bei so great that the spoon and chopsticks rattled to the floor. Although Liu Bei stooped down to recover the fallen articles and said, "What a thunder!" and it was quite close. In order to covering his shock, he still exposed his inadequate psychological quality. On the later chapters, Liu Bei ignored the whole situation of his country and attached too much importance to brotherhood for revenging Guan Yu, which led to the result of his camps extending 700 li being burnt out by Lu Sun, a general of East Wu. His failure is also caused by his inadequate psychological quality. The outstanding general of East Wu, Zhou Yu, was irate to death at the age of 36, which was also a result of bad psychological quality. In the end, he sighed, "O God, since thou made Zhou Yu, why did thou also create Zhuge Liang?" It is a good illustration of his psychological quality inferior to that of Zhuge Liang. Totally different with Zhou Yu, Sima Yi accepted the skirt given by Zhuge Liang kindly and wore it at once, intending to irritate Zhuge Liang, which also showed Sima Yi's outstanding psychological quality here. What is psychological quality? It is a comprehensive reflection of the temperament, character, thinking, emotion, IQ, tolerance, and faith of a person, and the embodiment of that person's connotation. A man of excellent psychological quality is confident, generous, strong, stable, energetic, optimistic, tolerable, magnanimous, and calm, etc., while a man of bad psychological quality is self-abasement, bigoted, testiness, pessimistic, negative, narrow, and flurried. Chanyuan celestials are the most civilized, most cultivated, most intelligent, most active and creative, strongest people with spiritual nature in the world. They are common, but above the common of the ordinary sense, and free-form vulgarity. Therefore, each Chanyuan celestial should have the following psychological qualities. Remain calm in the face of danger and death. Chanyuan celestial's hand is her life to the greatest creator and is her lifetime to the Tao. They can remain serene and in control in the face of danger and death. Never retreat and feel discouraged in the face of extremely difficulties and hardships. As long as they breathe, as long as there is 1 out of 10,000's hope, they'll not give up, not let any chance of survival slip away. In front of the long journey, they will overcome all obstacles and difficulties with indomitable spirit. They will not step back. Even if they would die, they died on the journey for the destination. They will never stop short of goal. Many people around may ridicule, satirize, speak ironically, slander, insult, and attack them or create difficulties. It doesn't matter. They would sit tight in the fishing boat despite the rising wind and waves, and stick to it and never give up. They stand steadfastly on the ground. In front of desperate situation, they will laugh in the wind. When they are struggling alone, we will show their heroic spirit all the same. When it comes to the complicated and bewildered situation, they will keep relaxed, steady, and active instead of changing our opinions or following other people blindly. They'll lighten the magic lamp in their heart for walking out of the path of error and creating an ideal future in extraordinary courage and style. When it comes to the unreasonably troublesome or importunate situation, they will be open and clear, active and flexible, witty and tactful, so as to prevent contradictions from intensifying and try to be humor, funny, or to pretend to be foolish for getting rid of drudgery, rather than getting us more deeply entangled in it. In front of frustration, they will never feel inferior or stop their marching process. They believe that as long as they have firm faith in their heart, as long as they make unremitting endeavor, when God closes a door, somewhere he opens a window, and there will be another sunrise every morning. It is just like some famous Chinese saying, "Where hills bend, streams wind, and the pathway seems to end, past dark willows and flowers in bloom lies another village." Or, when it is dark in the east, it is light in the east. When things are dark in the south, there is still light in the north. They would impress the world someday. And in this, I firmly believe. What are listed above are the 8 attainments to be a Chanyuan celestial. As long as they have these attainments, no such a flame mountain that is impassable, no such a difficulty is insurmountable. As long as they have these attainments and integrated personality, they'll have a bright future, and they will approach the celestial world smoothly. 禅院草之间互不相欠. No debts between Chanyuan celestial. Xuefeng, August 16th, 2007. The big love means no love. The big morality means no moral. Lifechanyuan is not the secular society, and Chanyuan celestial will never be in debt among each other. I, Xuefeng, create Lifechanyuan and come to the mortal world to find life for heaven. This is my mission, my duty, and my natural instincts. I do all these for myself to achieve the Buddhism of celestial beings, and I am willing to pay for it, so all Chanyuan celestials don't owe me anything. If I invite you for a dinner, 100 dinners or billions of dinners, it is my own pleasure, and I have got my reward in the process of eating dinner. As a result, you do not owe me anything. If any Chanyuan celestials obtain enlightenment, inspiration, physical strength, or happiness, it belongs to your own merits and virtues, your own destiny. You deserve all these. All merit should belong to Jesus Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni, the greatest creator in yourself. I do not have any merits or virtues. So Chanyuan celestial does not owe me anything and should not be grateful to me. I love playing, so there is full of talking and smiling in the homeland. I am happy because everyone is happy. This happiness is created by everyone and is the reveal of the true sentiments of everyone. So I should never be considered as the one that brings this happiness. In one word, no matter in the past, present, or future, all Chanyuan celestials do not owe me anything. Similarly, I do not owe anything to any Chanyuan celestials. Your contribution in homeland means to accumulate treasures in heaven, which belongs to your own life track and is out of your own willing. The words and actions of each person are all for your self-accomplishment. So all Chanyuan celestials do not owe anything to each other. The mutual helps of Chanyuan celestial, no matter in mental or physical, are out of mutual affection, destiny, and out of their own will. Among all Chanyuan celestial, they do not owe anything to each other. What we carrying on will change with our destinies and move according to one's temperament, and there is not any rights or obligation among us. If you are willing, we can move on together, otherwise we choose our own way. When we get together, we will care, praise, and encourage each other to share the happy times. However, we will not worry about each other, nor owe to each other anything when we say goodbye to each other. Do not always expect returns for what has been done. Everything operates in the scope of Tao, and the greatest creator will make the fair judgment on everything. God's mill grinds slow but sure, and we believe, as a man sows, so he shall reap. At last, everything will be judged fairly. Here, everything is free from vulgarity. Everything should not be measured by the worldly value system, just like one of the passionate lovers who complains, "You have delayed my youth, and you have to pay for it." After they've broken up, or like the man and woman who have one night stand want to get tied down the other side. Here all loss and gains are realized during the process, and everything is out of our own willingness. Nothing is owed to each other. In order to climb the summit of human life and life, we come to Lifechanyuan. The relationship among various Chanyuan celestials is not to form a clique to pursue selfish interests, neither to form some political party to fight for some rights or interests, but to fall in a company with each other. Everyone has one's own willing and freedom and should be responsible for oneself. We will not pay you the youth loss cost when someday you are not happy and begin to hate us deceiving you. We are not the interest usurpers or contenders, but the people who resonate with each other in the same frequency. So everyone should not defend other Chanyuan celestials for a justice, not make an assessment on other Chanyuan celestials, not be on behalf of other Chanyuan celestial to fight for name, or not manage the things of other Chanyuan celestials which should not be managed, but should just focus on one's own self-refining and self-improving. All Chanyuan celestials are independent and free, and not anyone has the right or qualification to restrict other Chanyuan celestials. Chanyuan celestials should not establish the difficultly sustained personal relationship or restrict each other with love or emotion. In one word, we have to remember, no matter how much merits or contribution you have made for Lifechanyuan, All Chanyuan celestials do not owe each other anything, and everything we do is out of our own willingness. 宁愿饿死也不虚信于人. Rather die than swallow one's words. Xuefeng, November 24th, 2009. Lifechanyuan is built on the basis of faith, which is the belief in the greatest creator, Taoism, Jesus Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni, celestial Lao Tzu, Muhammad the Prophet, the acceptance of matter of truth, science, logic, telegnosis, causality, and also the belief of a bright future of mankind. This is the connotation of the belief of Lifechanyuan, and its denotation is that Lifechanyuan would never ever break its word to society and people. We will keep our promises. If someone is disqualified as the Chanyuan Celestial and his or her name as Chanyuan Celestial is cancelled, his or her dedication to Lifechanyuan would be returned in full except for 2,000 yuan service fee. We would rather die than swallow one's words. Why shall we take out 2,000 yuan as service fee? Because Chanyuan Celestial enjoys services provided by Lifechanyuan, and it's natural to dedicate once you have enjoyed. Reaping without sowing equals to exploitation, and it violates the law of justice and fairness. Lifechanyuan is home to all Chanyuan Celestials. We would like to make every Chanyuan Celestial to know that our home is not only reliable and trustworthy, but also brings security to everyone. Appropriate compensation must be returned to Chanyuan Celestial once he or she makes dedication to Lifechanyuan. Dedication to Lifechanyuan somehow resembles bank deposit. It always belongs to the Chanyuan Celestial who deposits it in person rather than someone else. He or she can take back the dedication anytime in accordance with his or her will. Except for the deduction of service fee, Lifechanyuan would make every effort to return the dedication in full number. Lifechanyuan will always keep promises and will never bear any burden of incredibility, both spiritually and mentally. Without faith, man cannot live in contentment, let alone be trusted and relied on by others. Man who is without faith cannot be called a pure man. We can only regard it as a soul. Although others can be faithless and they can go back their words, Lifechanyuan as well as Chanyuan Celestial must be faithful and trustworthy. We mean what we say. Be factual, realistic, dignified, imposing, honest, and open-hearted, all of which are virtues of Chanyuan Celestial. Only when we are faithful and credible can we obtain these virtues. Heaven is home to faithful and trustworthy people, while faithless people are doomed to go to hell. We are destined to have a bright future so long as we keep our promises and be faithful. Rather die than swallow one's words is one of the Lifechanyuan values. 物尽其用其妙其长. Make the best use of everything. Xuefeng, May 5th, 2010. All things have the applicable, wonderful, and strong point. Make the full use of it, and there would be no waste. Shits, animals' excrements, are a fine fertilizer which will promote the growth of plant if being applied in the land. We should make the best use of everything, or it will be a waste or a profane or irreverence. Everything has its unique function, and there is no waste in nature. Even feces, dung beetles, or the falling leaves in autumn have their use too. It will be a satisfactory and equal state for the full use of everything. As far as the human body is concerned, each organ has its specific function. While the eyes, nose, mouth, ears, hands, and feet should be in full use, the brain, sex organs, entrails should be in full use too. Only in this way can we live up to the will of the greatest creation. It should be making the best use of everything, or grievances will arise and the nature will be repressed. The strength of horse is running, so let it run. The strength of cow is giving milk, so let it give milk. The strength of honeybees is pollinating a variety of plants and making honey, so let them pollinate and make honey. As to human beings, some are good at singing or dancing, so let them sing or dance. Some people are good at growing vegetables, some are good at nursing, some are good at studying, some have an aptitude for theory, and some have an aptitude for practice, so provide them opportunities for maximizing their strengths. We should make the best use of everything, or it will be a destruction or contempt. The aircraft flying in the sky, the car running on the ground, the ship sailing in the water, they all have their own strengths, The African enjoys a good physical quality. The Western enjoys a good scientific and technological quality. The Asian enjoys a good quality in thinking. They all have their own strengths too. Beans are high in protein. Vegetables are high in vitamin. Fats and oils are high in fat. They all have their own strengths too. Everything has its merits, and what should be used is to put their merits into full use. Of course, there is nothing improper for growing flowers with wash bowls, plowing with horse, or taking the pen as chopstick, but their merit is wasted and it is a distortion of nature. As to human society, everybody's ability should be brought into full play as much as possible. If those who engage in literature turn to scientific study, those who engage in music turn to acrobatics, and those who do farming work turn to business, it will be a great waste of manpower and also a great distortion and suppression of nature. We should make the best of everything, including the best use of human potentials. In this way, the waste will be minimized and the strength will be maximized. If someone lives powerless and accomplish nothing, the real reason is not that the man has not got a gift, but that the man's nature was not brought into full play, or people did not make the best use of his talents, or people use his talents in a wrong place or wrong way. It is a waste to fire mosquitoes with cannon, and it is also a waste to tunnel with bullets or grenades. Home without marriage and family must make the best use of everything, no matter it is a person or a thing in Lifechanyuan, and the Lifechanyuan era will make strive for this target too. All Chanyuan celestials should educate themselves in this aspect. 做人的18条底线. The 18 bottom lines to be a human. Dayform Buddha. October 19th, 2006. Butterfly flock around when flowers are blossoming. Virtue occupies when hearts rectified. The branches are thick when root is deeply embedded in the ground. Tao is generated when principles is set up. Lifechanyuan formulates 18 bottom lines to be a human. Those who break through the bottom line will be regarded as demons and ghosts with evil spirit. Be obedient to our parents. Our parents give us life. They're just like the sky above our head and the earth under our feet. They enable us to stand between the sky and the earth. No matter what our parents are like, they give life to us and nurture us on this land. The filial affection and obedience are children's obligation. No matter whom you are, an ordinary people or a president. No matter where you are, nearby or far away, to make your parents happy and live comfortable in your hometown are your absolute duties. Never humiliate the ancestors. The tree has a root and water has a source. Our ancestors are our roots and sources no matter they are moral or immoral. Humiliating the ancestors is really a degenerated behavior, which must draw down the wrath of heaven. Therefore, what should be done is recalling the ancestors' merits with deep emotion, understanding their difficulties at the time, looking forward and moving for a better future. Never insult the king. One principle of heaven is that the colony of ants, bees must have a king. Everything has a core, and human society also has kings. The principle of heaven must follow the way of heaven, and it is impossible for human beings to get the secret of that. No matter what the name is, chairman or president, no matter how the position is taken, in turn or lifetime, no matter what kind of personality the king is, integrity and talent or immorality and commonplace, he deserves to be respected and not insulted. Show reverence to the greatest creator. We know nothing about how vast the universe is, how wonderful all things on earth are, how profound the 36-dimensional space is, and how mysterious the changes of time and space are. There are 18 inner contents in human body which are beyond the control of consciousness, such as the reason of dreaming, the spot of unconsciousness, and the track of lifetime and life itself. And we know nothing about these things. The way of death is also a puzzle. So how? Could we not revere the greatest creator? Blasphemy will cause the impossible opening of telegnosis, and such an ignorant behavior is like a fool. We should be humble in front of the greatest creator all the time and should never degenerate to be an unruly man. Seek truth from facts. The truth is the basis for justifying right or wrong, true or false, beautiful or ugly. Disregarding the truth is perverting the law, even illegal. The behavior of creating something out of nothing or fabricating information is with evil intentions in one's mind. Uncritical trust or comments without any support from the truth is the devil's skill. We should never fabricate the truth, ramble on about the facts, believe or follow others blindly, never make comments groundlessly. We should seek truth from facts before action. Everything we do should be based on truth. Never bully widowers, widows, orphans, childless couples, and other socially vulnerable groups. The fate of widowers, widows, orphans, childless couples, and other social vulnerable groups is caused by their own faults. It is the result of retribution for bad deeds, and they should not blame anyone or anything but themselves. In spite of this, their situation should not be a reason for people to bully them. Helping them get rid of this troublesome life is an important way to achieve the stage of God, Buddha, celestial being, sage, and saint. What Jesus the Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni, and the great man Mao Zedong had been struggling all their lives for the happiness of these people. This is a mark of consciousness. Never destroy other people's homeland or animals' nesting sites. Heaven loves people, and people will enjoy their life. It is very natural for any creature to cherish and protect its life. Either imperial palaces or cave dwellings, either the birds' nests or the mammals' dens. All of these places are for protecting or nurturing one's life. Never take or destroy them by force. Make a living by working and creating. The workers are beautiful. Creation is the source of happiness. Never steal, rob, plunder, practice graft, or accept bribes. Never commit swindle or crime imaginable. Never hurt your brothers and sisters, neighbors and friends. Our brothers and sisters, neighbors and friends are valuable spiritual wealth in our lifetime. It is unacceptable to hurt them. Never join in any religious or political organizations. A man of noble character favors making friends with other people rather than forming cliques, while a vile character favors forming cliques rather than making friends. The ordinary people are simple, kind, honest, and tolerant. They recognize their social positions and act according to traditional decorum. However, the followers of demons are treacherous, cunning, and unscrupulous. They are skilled and political tricksters and always assume that they would be lucky in successfully tricking. Any government is the result of political structure, and various political organizations or parties are just like tumors growing in the body human society. Never take part in any superstitious activities. Various characteristically secret or cryptic activities, such as praying and consulting an oracle, drawing divination sticks, fortune-telling, cham and ghost-catching, telepathize T groups, angel groups, someone showing its presence and power, master opening the light, the coming of Christ, reincarnation, being possessed by a demon, etc. are heterodox doctrines. One should not participate in these activities. Never expose others' secrets. Dig ancestral graves is exposing another one's secrets. Breaking into other people's hometown or house is exposing their secrets. Doggedly pursuing others for taking candid pictures is exposing their secrets, while fixing cameras for observing other people's behavior is also exposing their secrets. Opening the secrets to the public which should be kept in secret is making exposure too. One should not disclose other secrets. Never commit fraud. Fraud is a demoniac nature. To commit fraud is to create demons. No matter what kind of fraud behavior it is, forged certificate, bogus diploma, fake identification, fake medicine, adulterated wine and foods, false claims, falsified accounts, failed certificates, misrepresented material facts, phony money, pretended feeling, or any other form of frauds are strictly forbidden. Keep promises and be trustworthy. Keeping to what is promised is called being honest. Carrying through what is promised is called being faithful. A dishonest man will never be successful, and he does not deserve the name of human being either. Please remember that never make rash promises, because every promise must be fulfilled. Being responsible to what is promised, even at the cost of your life. Show respect for elders and teachers. From the teachers in kindergarten to the tutors in the college, from the masters teaching us by doing to the masters instructing our lifetime and life, It is them who had or have been accompanying us laboriously in our life. No matter what his or her character is, or what professional abilities he or she may have, showing respect for elders and teachers is our duty. We should respect the elders, respect those who are superior to us in ages, positions, abilities, and intelligence, and also respect those people who made more contributions. Love our country, love our hometown, and never defame our nation. The mountains and rivers of our country nurture us. It needs being eulogized and protected. The root of a nation is the motherland, and no matter how ugly the nation is, one should never break off his relationship with his motherland. No matter how critical you are at home, your fellow countrymen remain the same, and you should never demonize your nation and fellow men in front of other nationalities. The personality of a man should never get lost. A man who publicly besmirches himself will never be respected by others and never deserve that respect. Show reverence to life and nature. All things on earth have spirits. All spirits have lives. All lives have feelings. All feelings have loves, and all loves have pains. Putting yourself in the places of other creatures, feeling their pains and hurts, just as it's your pain and hurt, you will get a noble sentiment of revering life. Be not a butcher. Be not a life-maltreated man. Human beings rely on nature for a living. Celestial and terrestrial, mountains and rivers, winds, clouds, rain and snow, the sun, the moon and the star, so on and so forth. All things in nature please our eyes. We would not exist without them. Prostrate yourself in front of nature and revere it. Take good care of nature meticulously in the same way of embracing your lover. Never deprive others of their freedom. Everybody has a right to enjoy freedom, whether a parent or a child, husband or wife. Don't injure or deprive others of their freedom for the benefit of your own. Ignoring the public hygiene will injure or deprive others of their freedom of enjoying clean and tidy environment. Talking loudly in public places will deprive others' freedom of enjoying peaceful time. Too loud voices of television will deprive neighbors' freedom of their peaceful and auspicious atmosphere in the rooms. Stopping others to express their opinions freely is to deprive them of their freedom of speech. Everybody is free to follow his inclinations, but the bottom line should be avoiding the injuries or depriving other people of their freedom. Summary: the 18 bottom lines to be a human. Be obedient to our parents. Never humiliate the ancestors. Never insult the king. Show reverence to the greatest creator. Seek truth from facts. Never bully widowers, widows, orphans, childless couples, and other socially vulnerable groups. Never destroy other people's homeland or animals' nesting sites. Make a living by working and creating. Never hurt your brothers and sisters, neighbors and friends. Never join in any religious or political organizations. Never take part in any superstitious activities. Never expose others' secret. Never commit fraud. Keep promises and be trustworthy. Show respect for elders and teachers. Love our country, love our hometown, and never defame our nation. Show reverence to life and nature. Never deprive others of their freedom. To build a house requires a sound foundation, while to be a man also requires a sound foundation in mind. Adhering to the above 18 bottom lines will enable you stand firmly between heaven and the earth, and you will be an integral part of nature. Great virtue and integrity will be generated from this. Real soul and real spirit will be generated from this. By observing all these, you can get whatever you want or at least be on the right track of Tao. 被生命禅院颠覆的18个传统观念 Traditional values subverted by Lifechanyuan. Xuefeng. October 24th, 2007. In traditional concept, family is the source of happy life, while in the opinion of Lifechanyuan, family is the miserable source of human life and humanity. Traditional concept considers that life is the result of evolution or is created by gods. Lifechanyuan proclaims life is created by super-celestial beings led by gods according to the design of the greatest creator. Traditional concept considers the greatest creator is I am what I am. Lifechanyuan proclaims that the greatest creator comes from Wuji Taiji. Traditional concept considers God is the greatest creator. Lifechanyuan proclaims that God is created by the greatest creator, and all gods are the sons of the greatest creator. Traditional concept considers Sakyamuni is the ancestor of Buddha, and Lifechanyuan proclaims Sakyamuni is not the ancestor of Buddha, and the greatest creator is the ancestor of Buddha. Traditional concept considers universe comes from the Big Bang, while Lifechanyuan proclaims it is the outcome of the greatest creator's consciousness. Traditional concept considers Adam and Eve were the ancestors of all humanity, while Lifechanyuan proclaims they are not the ancestors of all human beings, but are just the ancestors of Israel and Middle East regions. Traditional concept considers Confucianism, Buddhism, and Taoism are the Chinese cultural core. Lifechanyuan proclaims the holographic order consciousness is the Chinese cultural core. Traditional concept considers that moon is formed naturally, while Lifechanyuan proclaims that moon is specially produced by super-celestial beings and then is installed in sky for the human being. Traditional concept considers the self-refiners and self-improvers need to abstain from love, while Lifechanyuan proclaims love is a precious gift endowed by the greatest creator, and people should fully enjoy the love. Traditional concept has a blurry cognition on heaven. Lifechanyuan has a clear cognition on heaven. Traditional concept thinks that self-refining and self-improving require adopting the serious and ascetic method. Lifechanyuan proclaims that self-refining and self-improving should adopt the methods aiming at joy and happiness. Traditional concept thinks the beautiful future need to be created by working, while Lifechanyuan proclaims that the beautiful future depends on the creation of mind. Traditional concept thinks that the memory of people exists in brain, while Lifechanyuan proclaims the memory of people does not exist in brain but in subconsciousness, and subconsciousness does not exist in human body but in space-time. Traditional concept thinks the existence determines consciousness, while Lifechanyuan proclaims consciousness determines existence. Traditional concept thinks that life will receive the final judgment. Lifechanyuan proclaims there is no final judgment, and judgment goes on at every moment. Life will not be judged by the greatest creator, gods, Buddha, or king of hell, but the Tao of the greatest creator. The Tao of the greatest creator operates at every moment. Traditional concept thinks the greatest creator can talk to people directly or never talk to people. Lifechanyuan proclaims that everything is the words of the greatest creator. All the changing phenomena are the conversations between the greatest creator and people, and the people who can read the wordless book can directly talk to the greatest creator. Traditional concept thinks Satan is a demon and an enemy of the greatest creator. Lifechanyuan proclaims Satan is a god, and he is a firm supporter to maintain the symmetry and balance of universal life order. In fact, hundreds and thousands of traditional values needing to be subverted by Lifechanyuan. I just put forward 18 for you to think, and you will have to summarize the rest by yourselves. 我是一株禅院草. I am a Chanyuan celestial. Xuefeng August 16, 2006. Translated by Tongxin and Shidai. I am a Chanyuan celestial in Lifechanyuan who has descended to the human world from the heavenly kingdom with the instruction to help guide, harvest ripe crops, and build Lifechanyuan. Initiate Lifechanyuan era. This is my mission, my long-cherished wish, and more importantly, all the meaning of my life and life. Let's follow the guide to moralize humankind, making people respect the greatest creator, life, and nature, and follow the way of the greatest creator, guiding them away from the Egypt of soul, and leading them to a new era, in which the worthy person can fully utilize his talents. The whole world is like one family, and no one will keep lost articles found on the roadside, and the houses need not be bolted at night. I am a Chanyuan celestial, humble and insignificant in power, but I have a perfect soul and morality. I am one of the most civilized and well-bred men of mankind. I am never arrogant and conceited. I am not swell-headed with pride, and I never impose my wills on others. I am hardworking, I am committed to work, I practice hygiene, value facts, believe in science, and advocate social morality, and promote credibility because I'm a Chanyuan celestial. I do not oppose the government. I do not harbor animosity to anyone because I am a Chanyuan celestial. I love my hometown that has raised me and brought me up. I love my parents and fellow citizens who have endured all kinds of hardships. I love my brothers and sisters. I love all that love me because I'm a Chanyuan celestial. I love my husband or wife. I conscientiously raise and educate my children because I am a Chanyuan celestial. I will listen to the teachings of Jesus Christ, Buddhist Sakyamuni, the Prophet Muhammad, and the celestial Lao Tzu because I am a Chanyuan celestial. I only follow the way of the greatest creator. I do not follow any other way because I am a Chanyuan celestial. I do not control others. I do not engage in forceful occupation. I do not restrict anyone's freedom, and I do not allow others to restrict my freedom either because I am a Chanyuan celestial. I want to share the same frequency and resonance with the values of Lifechanyuan. I do not want to stick to my prejudice and partial understanding. I believe in the greatest creator and the arrangement of Tao. I believe in the luck that brings people into a relation. I believe in the track of life because I am a Chanyuan celestial. I regard other Chanyuan celestials as my sisters, brothers, and lovers. I will open myself to other Chanyuan celestials and exchange with them my understanding and perception of life and life. I would like to accompany my sisters and brothers on the journey of life. I would try whatever is within my power to help other Chanyuan celestials because I am a Chanyuan celestial. I do not gain extra advantage unfairly. I do not pocket anything on the ground that does not belong to me, and I would not claim as my mind the fruits of others because I am a Chanyuan celestial. I am always grateful. I never create trouble. I never exploit others' labor. I would rather endure hard work and hardships than do anything against my own conscience, because I have my good conscience, and I have a court in my soul to judge sincerity, falsity, kindness, and evil, and beauty and ugliness. I always engage in introspection, self-trial, and self-check. I never indulge myself or be too tolerant to myself because I am a Chanyuan celestial. I believe in miracle spiritual perception, and I believe that there is in the heavenly kingdom 1,000-year world, 10,000-year world, and Elysium world because I am a Chanyuan celestial. I will trek and scale the highest realm of life and life. No matter how treacherous the road ahead might be, no matter how many twists and turns and setbacks I might encounter, no matter how hard kind-hearted people around may dissuade me, and no matter how many Chanyuan celestials might leave, I am staunch in belief, obstinate in will, indomitable in spirit, unswerving in determination. I will press ahead with indomitable will, and I will never give up until I have accomplished my goal, because I am a Chanyuan celestial. I have a magnanimous heart and a lofty ideal. I will never be overwhelmed by setbacks, adversity, and death, because my life is linked to the source. I am blended into the soul of the greatest creator. The sky may fall, the earth may cave in, but my spirit will survive eternally. My life will live on forever. My future will be extremely beautiful and splendid, because I am a Chanyuan celestial. I am a Chanyuan celestial, and the terminal that my life is running toward is the celestial island continent of the Elysium world, which is my permanent hometown and my cozy home. I am convinced that the guide will enlighten me on the mystery of life and the path to the heavenly kingdom. I firmly believe that I will have an island as the size of the earth, and I will be the master on this island. I will create my beautiful home according to my interests and likes. I will always invite super celestial beings on other islands to visit this island of mine, and I will also pay visit to super celestial beings on other islands. My life will from then on be eternally from misfortune and afflictions. I will stroll about to my heart's content and fully enjoy the grace that the greatest creator has blessed with. I have embarked upon the expedition of life. I am a Chanyuan celestial on the sailboat of Lifechanyuan, sailing happily forward to the infinitely wonderful future. Wish me good luck. Admire me, because I am a Chanyuan celestial in Lifechanyuan. 让我们撑起人类的希望，致伊斯旦和睦之花全体兄弟姐妹。Let us hold up the hope for humanity, to Isidon and all brothers and sisters in Kanahana family. Xuefeng, November 14th, 2013. Mr. Isidon and all brothers and sisters in Kanahana family. Greetings to all of you. How happy we are to meet friends from afar. These days, all brothers and sisters of the second home, now new oasis for life, are immersed in the sea of joy because of the visit of Machio, and also because our two communities are uniting as one. We have transcended country borders, culture difference, historic conflicts, and become one big harmonious family. This is not only a great news for Kanahana and the second home, now new oasis for life, but also a great news for all Japanese and Chinese people, and a great news for the entire humanity. Kanahana family has been developing for 19 years under the outstanding guidance of Isidon. Now it is a very successful community that has reached overall abundance in material and spiritual aspects. The living environment is elegant, the community atmosphere is harmonious, and everyone feels happy, free, joyful, and blessed. It is a wonderful achievement, and we are very proud of you. The road ahead is very long. Humankind has been worked for thousands of years for a beautiful ideal. Numerous sages and saints have dedicated a lifetime of efforts, wisdom, and talents, even their lives, to eliminate world's poverty, famine, conflicts, and wars, and to the cause of world's peace, happiness, and freedom. The unity of Kanahana family and the second home, now new oasis for life, today is a crystallization of human wisdom. It is also a symbol of advancement of human civilization and the result of thousands of years of pursuit of a beautiful lifestyle, as well as the hope for the best future of humanity. Let us hold up the hope for humanity and take actions to show our sincerity, kindness, beauty, love, faith, and honesty. Let us set a good example of civilization by uniting our two communities. We are confident that we are capable of overcoming all difficulties along the way and leading humanity walk on the way of the greatest creator and the road of peace, freedom, happiness, and eventually realize the dream of the talents will be put to good use, and the whole world will be one family. Opportunity knocks but once. Today's world is still full of savages, ignorance, autocracy, power, conflicts, and fights. The UN and the government of all countries are making efforts. Thousands of communities / eco-villages and all individuals who love peace are working hard. We shall work even more hard, give up all personal interests, and open wide bosom to embrace people from different nations, regions, cultures, political and religious background to initiate a brightest era ever. Life is limited, but our spiritual life is unlimited. The earth has its limitation, but time and space are unlimited. Human beings' wisdom is limited, but that of the greatest creator is unlimited. Let us unite hand in hand toward the infinite mysteries of time and space and continuously exploring the way forward. On behalf of all Chanyuan Celestials, brothers and sisters living in the community, I would like to send my best regards and blessings to you. Wish you all healthy and happy. 打开家园幸福之门的金钥匙 The golden key to open the door of happiness of the second home. Now new oasis for life. Xuefeng. May 7th, 2012. Note: translated by Tongxin and edited by Ailian. The methods used may vary, but the principle is the same. As long as we follow the principle, no matter how big the change is, how complex things turn up, everything can be organized and sorted out, just like bright spring days and the wind and rain come in their time. To build our home into a happy fairyland, we must always remember one principle. That is, everything in the second home is for realizing the happiness, freedom, and blessing for our brothers and sisters. You can do or say anything that brings happiness, freedom, and blessing to our brothers and sisters, otherwise you had better not to do or say it. We must always remember our home is designed and built for Chanyuan Celestials and is serving for Chanyuan Celestials. Therefore, no matter what we're going to say or do, as long as it brings happiness, freedom, and blessing to brothers and sisters, it is right. Otherwise, it is wrong. Every brother and sister, if your words and behaviors can bring happiness, freedom, and blessing to our brothers and sisters, then whatever you say or do, you are a moral person. Otherwise, you are wrong. You are a person without morals. When our branch directors arrange the daily life in each branch, you also need to focus on the principle of bring happiness, freedom, and blessing to each brother and sister. Let everybody live happily and harmoniously and feel happy and comfortable in our home. We should never protect our home at the expense of everyone's happiness and freedom. At the same time, each Chanyuan celestial who is living in the second home as a permanent resident. You also need to remember whatever you say or do. Please consider the happiness and freedom of other brothers and sisters. Once what you say or do is on the price of scarifying other people, you are wrong. Don't use any excuse or reason to bring pain, anxiety, fear, or troubles to other brothers and sisters. Once the head rope of a fishing net is pulled out, all its meshes open. What I am saying above is the head rope. As long as we do things around this head rope, then a fairyland surely can be built out, and every brother and sister will live a paradise-like life in the second home. 生命禅院时代只需要这8类人。Lifechanyuan era needs only 8 categories of people. Xuefeng. February 19th, 2009. Man is going to and will inevitably enter the Lifechanyuan era, in which all methods are unified into one general principle, and all religions into one origin, and in which the worthy person can fully utilize his talents. The whole world is like one family. No one will keep lost articles found on the roadside, and the houses need not be bolted at night, and in which everything will be in complete harmony. The weather will be good for harvest, and everyone will be happy, free, and pleasant. This is the inevitable result of the sublimation of civilization and the development of society, which evolves and moves forward not affected by anyone's will. There are mainly 8 major identifying brands for Lifechanyuan era. The disappearance of country, religion, political party, and family. The absence of court, judger, and lawyers. The absence of constitution, law, statutes, commandment, and dharma. There will be only Lifechanyuan values. Instead of following constitution, laws, statutes, commandment, and dharma as the norm for behavior, people take sincerity, kindness, love, credibility, honesty, diligence, and harmony as the guideline for words and behaviors. The disappearance of war, diseases, hunger, and crime. Man will shift from the pursuit of material comfort to the pursuit of spiritual satisfaction. The production and life of man all over the world will be uniformly steered by sages and managed by wise men. Man will coexist harmoniously with other advanced life of the universe and nature in an orderly manner. Hence, we know that Lifechanyuan era needs only the following 8 kinds of people. Creators of material wealth, protectors of environment, doctors and nursing staff, explorers of scientific laws, government workers, creators of spiritual wealth, creators of soul wealth, guide of life and life. The 8 kinds of people are summed up as follows. Creators of material wealth. Creators of material wealth are those who produce food, daily necessities, and convenient living conditions. For example, the laborers in agriculture, animal husbandry, catering, garment, industries, construction, water conservancy, and road building are all creators of material wealth. Protectors of environment. Protectors of environment are those who protect the living environment, social environment, and natural environment. For example, cleaners, policemen, and environmentalists, and so on. Doctors and nursing staff. Doctors and nursing staff are those who take charge of people's birth, aging, health, and death. For example, delivery, fostering, health, old people's diet and life, and everything that should be taken care of after an old person's death. Explorers of scientific laws. The greatest creator has created the necessary living conditions for us. But in order to fully utilize these necessary living conditions, we ourselves should explore, convert, and put these conditions into use. And this requires some people to be engaged specifically in exploring the laws behind the wide variety of phenomena of nature. For example, the discovery and application of electricity, the invention and creation of transportation and communication tools, the invention and design of articles for the convenience of daily life, and the like. Therefore, scientists, experts in scientific fields, and engineers and technicians are all explorers of scientific laws. Government workers. Government workers are those who take charge of the efficient production and life of mankind. arrange people's work and transfer, take charge of the allocation and transportation of materials, and ensure the good order of human society and the good functioning of procedures. Creators of spiritual wealth. Creators of spiritual wealth are those who maintain people's high spirit and prevent them from feeling empty, who guarantee that people are vigorous and do not suffer loneliness, who make sure people are happy and joyful and do not feel boring, and who ensure that people are free and happy and are far away from afflictions. For example, people involved in the fields of literature, painting, music, songs, dances, dramas, films, TV, folk art, games, and entertainments, and people involved in the reports of examples of sincerity, kindness, love, faith, and honesty. Creators of soul wealth. Creators of soul wealth are those who instruct and guide people in daily life to pursue and show sincerity, kindness, beauty, love, honesty, faith, harmony, auspiciousness, peace, and justice. This category of people mainly refers to educators of various kinds and levels. The difference is that currently educators are mainly concerned with the imparting of knowledge, while the educators we have in mind are those who stress the building of people's soul garden as well as the imparting of knowledge. A person who imparts only knowledge but neglects the building of soul garden is not a creator of soul wealth. Guide of life and life. Guides of life and life is a group of saints without rights who help people to establish correct outlook on life, and world, and institute perfect, orderly, auspicious, and harmonious operation procedures for mankind. They will have complete analysis of human nature, time, space, the meaning and connotations of life, point out the future of mankind and individuals, and guide people on the way to the heavenly kingdom that they have been dreaming of. The above people are the kinds of people needed by Lifechanyuan era, and only the above 8 kinds of people are entitled to enter Lifechanyuan era. Then what kind of people are not needed by Lifechanyuan, or in other words, are redundant? Judges, lawyers, soldiers, politicians, businessmen, entrepreneurs, bankers, financiers, wizards, and sorcerers will not be needed by Lifechanyuan era. Embassies, immigration bureaus, customs offices, banks, insurance companies, and civil affairs organizations will no longer exist. All the intermediary organs will no longer exist, and all people working in these organizations will no longer be needed and are thus superfluous. Only about 1 in 10 government staffs will be needed in government organization, and thus the remaining 90% will be superfluous. The above information needs to be pondered deeply by every member, who should think of transferring to other businesses as early as possible. 禅院草具有8大福分 enjoys 8 happy fortunes of Chanyuan celestials. Xuefeng. Translated by Transin and edited by Kayer. September 6, 2008. Chanyuan celestials enjoy these 8 extraordinarily wonderful fortunes. Chanyuan celestials connect themselves to the greatest creator and are linked to the source of life, and therefore walk on the way of the greatest creator. It is in this manner that they maintain the direction toward their goal of life through all circumstances. Life is no longer trapped in transmigrations between lower levels of space, and they will always have blessings and enlightenment from the greatest creator, and will thusly have splendid futures. Chanyuan celestials can go to the celestial island continent of Elysium world to become super celestial beings. Located in the back garden of the greatest creator, the celestial island continent of Elysium world is the freest and most marvelous place in the universe, which is only provided to Chanyuan celestials and an extremely small number of people who can otherwise gain access to it. This is one of the greatest distinct happinesses for Chanyuan celestials. Chanyuan celestials have clear goals of life and life. For a life, the most important things are to obtain joy, happiness, freedom, and blessing. For a life, the most important things are to go to the 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world, and finally reach the celestial island continent of the Elysium world. This simple outlook on life and life is only intelligible to Chanyuan celestials. The masters for Chanyuan celestials are Jesus Christ, Buddha Shakyamuni, Celestial Lao Tzu, and the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH. There is a guide specially responsible for instruction, who can organically integrate the teachings of these masters, reveal the mystery of time and space and life, and guide Chanyuan celestials accurately to the heavenly kingdom. This is a happiness that no one except a Chanyuan celestial can ever dream of. Chanyuan celestials all have visas of life to go to the heavenly kingdom, which are open to all Chanyuan celestials. When Chanyuan celestials depart from the human world, they will go directly to the 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world, or the celestial island continent of Elysium world. This gate is only accessible to those with Chanyuan celestial virtues. Chanyuan celestials have many close, special, and supportive friends who understand, admire, and support each other, and share the same resonance from their hearts through self-cultivation and self-refinery in Lifechanyuan. They're the most valuable wealth in life and are compatible with each other and know and care for each other. Thus, Chanyuan celestials are never lonely, will always have a way out, and have a broad road in life. Chanyuan celestials know the most advanced way of self-refinery and can thusly achieve the most advanced self-cultivation within the shortest time. By participating in the initiation of the Lifechanyuan era for mankind, Chanyuan celestials are conducting unconditional giving, are accumulating the greatest merits and virtues, and have stored rich wealth in the heavenly kingdom so they can pay back their debts over different generations of life and have their sins cleared, thus perfecting the non-material structure of their life within a short period of time. This is an ability that could not have not been achieved even through many hundreds or even thousands of lives of self-cultivation and self-refinery. All Chanyuan celestials have the second home, now new oasis for life, which relieves them from worries over food, clothing, shelter, transportation, living, old age, and death, provides them with the best venue for self-refinery, and guarantees them a life in a fairyland. Chanyuan celestials can achieve level 4 and level 5 meditation in the collective energy field within the shortest possible time without overreaching themselves. They can achieve the 64 theurgies, invoking the supernatural powers of gods, needed by super celestial beings. The good fortunes of Chanyuan celestials are not accessible to 98% of people, therefore they are incredibly fortunate. 面对真实逃离传统婚姻家庭 face reality and escape from the traditional marriage and family. Xuefeng August 2, 2009. Traditional marriage and family is a program of life that has been contacted with viruses, which can erode the sincerity, kindness, virtue, love, faith, and honesty in human character and drive us from an originally joyful, happy, free, and blessed life toward the abyss of misery, anxiety, enslavement, and desperation. If we take a look at the history of mankind and the reality that we are in, and observe the status quo of marriage and family in the neighborhood, we can easily find that traditional marriage and family is the prison of human nature and the stumbling blocks that hinders man's march toward a beautiful, free, and happy life. Face reality and no longer cheat yourself. Distress will not disappear simply because you do not pay attention to it, and the maltreatment and torture of spirit and soul that you have sustained will not be relieved as a result of endurance. It is the most foolish illusion to place your own future and happiness in the hand of a certain person or several people. It is the most insane and wishful thinking to rely on marriage and family for a joyful, happy, free, and blessed life. We cannot blame any person, the parents, the husband or wife, or even less so, children, sisters, brothers, relatives, friends, or neighbors for the misfortunes and tragedies incurred by the traditional marriage and family? What is at fault is the program of family. Humankind has been trapped in this program for thousands of years. The sea of tribulations is endless, but you can find the shore if you choose to pull yourself back. It is high time that we escape the life pattern of marriage and family and entered the new way of life. It is time to start a new life. We should not repeat the tragedies in history. Lifechanyuan has designed the new way of life for every member of mankind, which has been proved to be feasible in practice. You can obtain relevant information at the website of the Second Home, now new oasis for life. http://www.thetundome.org, English. http:// www.d2gun.com, Chinese. I will write an article about the new way of life of the second home, now new oasis for life. Please pay attention. How can we escape from traditional marriage and family and enter the new life in the second home? Those who are not married yet can refrain from getting marriage. Those who are divorced do not think of getting married for a second time. Those who have got married do not seek divorce, but try to ensure that both husband and wife enter the new life in the second home. Escaping from the family does not mean escaping from your close relatives or giving up on your parents and children or abandoning your obligations and responsibilities. Instead, escaping from the family means escaping from the traditional program of life and entering the new program of life. Anyone who has old parents to look after should show their filial piety to parents and arrange properly their parents' food, clothing, shelter, and transportation. Those who ignore their parents are not entitled to enter the second home. Those who have young children to bring up should perform their duty to raise the children. They should not incur any mental harm to the children that have not come of age. They shouldn't reduce but strengthen their care and love for their children. Those who want to escape from the traditional marriage and family should first clearly understand the malpractices of the traditional marriage and family and the misery and affliction it has caused to humankind and understand the new way of life designed by Lifechanyuan. Then they must learn and build new outlook on life, value, life, and the world. In addition, they shall strive to become Chanyuan celestials in Lifechanyuan through self-cultivation and self-refinement. And finally, they shall finish the relations with the human world and establish connection with celestial beings and enter the brand new life of the second home. Lifechanyuan is to create 256 units of the second home. The inevitable trend of the development of human society is the unification of all methods into one general principle, and the unification of all religions and thoughts into one uniform value, and the unification of all the world. No one can hope to achieve anything if he or she gets stuck in conventions and old conservative ways. It is no longer a distant dream to make every member to have a joyful, happy, free, and blessed life, and that goal has already been partially achieved and is being gradually consolidated and perfected. Lifechanyuan has already formed a theoretical system of nearly 3 million characters and has summed up the lessons and experience from the failed attempts of utopian society, collective farm, communist community, Israel's kibbutz communist society, and Japan's socialist villages. Thus, what Lifechanyuan practices is no longer blind and impractical castle in the air or empty talk, but is a strategic goal for all the mankind based both theoretically and practically on the comprehensive and conscientious planning. Let's give up the impractical illusion that has been embraced for thousands of years. Face the real situation of life. Work hard and forge ahead, so as to finish the earthly relations as soon as possible and enter the new life in the second home. 上帝王国的公民应当这样. The codes of behavior for citizens in the kingdom of the greatest creator. Xuefeng. Full of gratitude. Only with gratitude can people obtain real pleasure and sublime the quality of his life. Only with gratitude can people be optimistic and take things philosophically and scale the barriers of jealousy, greed, anger, fury, complaint, and resentment, and cross the one-plank bridge built along the cliff safely and smoothly to reach the ideal realm. Only with gratitude can one fully enjoy the pleasure, happiness, freedom, and blessing in the kingdom of the greatest creator. Without gratitude, one will always live a life of high alert and face dangers everywhere. Be grateful. Be grateful for everything that the greatest creator has endowed you. Be grateful for living in the kingdom of the greatest creator. Be grateful for everything that the people in the home have done for you. Be grateful for the teachings and guidance offered by Jesus Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni, the celestial Lao Tzu, the Prophet Muhammad, and generations of sages and saints. Be grateful, and the road ahead will be flat and smooth, with endless groves of flowers blooming profusely and flocks of birds twittering and flitting in the sky. Be ungrateful, and the road ahead will be shrouded with dense dark clouds and overgrown with thistles and thorns, and so full of twists and turns that it will be extremely difficult for you to trudge through. Completely unselfish. People who are completely unselfish are like glittering and translucent crystals in the endlessly expansive sky with drifting white clouds, and are like the murmuring limpid streams and blooming gorgeous flowers. They are symbols of beauty and incarnations of love, the messenger of kindness and angels of sincerity. The heavenly kingdom is theirs, and the freedom is theirs. Once a person harbors selfish desires, he will be like a fruit or melon with a rotten core. The source of happiness has been blocked, and he will be deliberately provocative and make trouble out of nothing and cause distress to others. He will stir riot and unrest among the harmonious group, stinking like a pool of feces and buzzing around like a blowfly. Be always diligent and amicable. Diligence makes people rich and refined. Laziness makes people poor and hideous. Gentleness makes people magnanimous, peaceful, and cozy. Malice makes people short-sighted and narrow-minded. The hardworking people are like the bees that fly among seas of flowers to gather honey. The lazy people are like fleas and lice that suck blood from animals. Gentleness is like fresh breeze. Malice is like a sharp dagger that is thrusted randomly. Citizens living in the kingdom of the greatest kingdom should be always diligent and amicable. Any laziness and malice will eventually forfeit one's freedom and happiness, will block the bridge to happiness, and will cause the loss of the Garden of Eden. Cherish the time and opportunity that you enjoy. If you cherish it, you will not complain. If you cherish it, you will take good care of everything that you have. If you cherish it, you will be prudent in action and words so that you will not cause misery and hurt to others. If you cherish it, you will gradually become colorful, auspicious light that bring good luck to other people. If you cherish it, you will take advantage of the opportunity that arises to accumulate merits and virtue instead of complaining and finding fault with everything and becoming a grueling and disgusting burden to the group. Be reasonable, highly cultured, and steeped in propriety. The citizens in the kingdom of the greatest creator are all reasonable, highly cultured, and steeped in propriety. They are apt to learn culture, dance and song, music, poetry, admiration, and appreciation. They have good breeding and training. They are refined and courteous and amiable when getting along with others. They are never rude and gross and fierce-browed. They often help others to achieve success instead of gossiping and spreading scandals. They will never have pettiness of character and always have a tightly knit brow, haggling over trifles and trying to fathom and figure out what is other people's mind. They always conform to order and never interrupt abruptly. They always speak clearly and straightforwardly instead of blabbering without stop. Reasonable and highly cultured people steeped in propriety emanate charming fragrance and are welcome everywhere instead of being avoided like a plague. They never importune, never argue irrationally. They are never egoistic, and they never cause unhappiness and unpleasantness to others. Have a calm mind and a smiling face, and be good at games. The citizens of the greatest creator are always dignified, sacred, and serene and elegant. They are not restless and flippant. They are as sedate as the green mountain, as serene as the green pool, and they are like the budding flowers and pleasantly warm breeze. They always walk so gently and gracefully, carrying their gaits so elegantly. Every knitting of the brows, every laughter, and every movement conforms to propriety. They will not scurry about. They are not flustered as if sitting on a bed of thorns. They will not engage in reckless yelling. They are good at games and can be immersed in them, because they are the angels of happiness, the happy children of the greatest creator, the chosen few favored by heaven and the incarnation of perfection. They can always bring joy, happiness, and good luck to others, instead of keeping a straight face and looking sanctimonious and poker-faced, without any vitality. 人类危机解决之道，致联合国. The only solution to humanity's crisis, to the United Nations. Translated by Treasure and edited by Care. November 25, 2018 Economic and Social Council. The United Nations. Dear Mr. Alberto Padova, our environment and climate continue to deteriorate, and neither can be solved by the Kyoto Protocol or the Paris Agreement. The only way for us to save ourselves is to completely change our traditional modes of production and life. If we continue to follow our current production and life modes, then these 8 crises will remain unresolved. Overpopulation, humanity's greed and lust, environmental degradation, climatic deterioration, loss and waste of resources, less stable ecological environments, refugee problems, they will continue to increase. Conflicts between nationalities, religions, cultures, and interest groups. These problems above can only be solved by changing our traditional production and life modes. Everyone yearns for a good life, but how can it be